Welcome to the Manitowoc Garage. Today's video is part 2, explaining the display features of the Syncon display system used on our Grove GHC crane models.
The menu bar. There's a lot of different windows down here to look through. So we'll sort through them one by one here. So the first menu will be your configurations. This is where we're going to do all your changing your setups for features, options. The second one will be display configurations. So languages, brightness, and your info. Software versions. Diagnostics, which will be very helpful. This will go back to the warnings and symbols for errors. This is where you'll find the information that's going to be flashing at you. And then also the USB symbol. This one will not always be on the screen. It will only appear when there is a USB installed in the display itself for either the service technician or for a software update. So let's go through the configuration or setting menu first. There may be up to 5 different windows. Again, depending on the model of crane you have, will depend on how many windows you have available. The crane configuration will be on all the cranes, because this is where you're going to physically select the setup for the crane. The slope, the track width, counterweight, hoist reeving, any type of options. Window 2 will be for the slope position, so it'll show you the physical position of the crane on the pad, showing you whether it is level or not. Function speeds will be the third window. So again, navigating to this window with the scroll knob, when you press on the knob once, you'll see the function light up in green. You can again turn the scroll knob to the selection that you want and press it again. And a window will appear, and that is where you'll change the physical function speed. When you have it set to where you want, all you have to do is hit the set button, and it will stay at that given setting. At the bottom right of the screen, you'll see a little box icon. This will actually reset all the function speeds back to 100%. Function curves will be the fourth window, and you will navigate through this window in a similar fashion as function speeds. You'll press on the scroll knob. You'll see it light up in green. Select the one you want, press on it again, and the window will appear. Scroll it through the curves for behavior. Again, it's operator preference. There's no one setting you need to utilize to run all the functions at. Again, at the bottom right corner of the display will be a reset that will take them all to their start point. And then the last window is going to be on the pin boom machines only. So the GHC 140. This will be for telescoping operations. Display configuration. Languages, if you want to set up into a different language. Read out all data, install software package, and parameter updates. So again, with the USB installed, this is where you can navigate through and select one of these options depending on the situation. Unit systems, so again, this is where the operator can set up the preferences per scale, metric to standard, Celsius, Fahrenheit. Settings will be in all these windows. Display brightness will be found in display configuration, time and date, and request access. For service technicians, or possibly operators, depending on the situation. This is where a day code can be generated. Information. Under the information icon, the first screen will show you all the given software versions on the modules of the machine. The second window is for the service key. So for the service technician that has come to class, this will show them how long the key is good for and their current level of access. The third, fourth, and fifth window are just histograms for crane operations, engine speeds, hoist speeds, winch 1, winch 2 operations. Diagnostics. The first window is active faults for the engine. So as it displays, any active faults will be displayed here with a description which will guide you to how to fix it. Active faults for RCL. So again, any active faults. So at the top of both of these windows is a box with a number. If it shows up in red, telling you there is a new error that has to be acknowledged or looked at. If it is black with a number, it just shows that you already looked at it, but it is still remaining there. Active faults machine. Here's an example of a fault. So as you see, the fault is acknowledged, so the box shows up in black, and it gives you a description and the generated number with a description. The fourth window is previous faults, so the machine faults. If you have fixed an error or if the error has gone, this will record or save what was there. So it's a good reference material in case there's a recurring sensor or problem with machines. Also under diagnostics, window number 5 is the CAN network window. So on this machine, it allows you to look at two different CAN networks, CAN 1 or CAN 2. These can also be used for Windows. Again, by pressing on the scroll knob, you'll see a black box appear. Once you're over the network you want to look at, you press the knob again. And it shows you all the ID or components that are talking on that CAN and the status beside it. It only gives you the ID number. So you have to use the mechatronics or the schematic for this machine to give you more detailed information. Continuing on with diagnostics, Windows 6 is the input vectors. The input vectors can be very useful. This is all the sensor, analog inputs, digital inputs that may be available to view are in this category. Again, by pressing on the scroll knob, you can scroll through all the available inputs that you can view. You can only see 5 at a time on the screen. You also have output vectors. So some of the outputs are also viewable through the display. The ones that are actually being shown or monitored, again, you'll have to push on the scroll knob. You'll see the arrows appear, and you can navigate up and down. So that concludes this session. Hopefully you'll find the information very helpful. Keep in mind, there's all the detailed information in the operator's manual for all the menus and screens that I just covered.
Thanks for tuning in to Manitowoc Garage. Please tune back in for future videos.